Okay, so welcome guys. I'm about to show you why the watch market is still alive and kicking. This is £2 million worth of stock that has come into us in the last couple of weeks. Fresh stock turning over all the time. So we're here to answer the big question of, is Rolex still a good investment? Stay tuned, stick with us, and you'll hear our thoughts on that exactly throughout the rest of the video.
How bad really is the market? How bad's Rolex? How bad's Patek? I mean, is Vacheron suffering in the marketplace today?
Okay, so let's start with Vacheron. Vacheron have taken heavy hits over the past couple of years, but still a vastly underrated watch in my opinion. They've made significant movement in the new releases with the green dials.
Has the green impacted on the market? This watch is currently, what, £50,000 for us?
It's £50,000. You get a lot of bang for your buck. You get 2 additional bracelets, a full rose bracelet.
Yeah.
And the leather. But for whatever reason, Vacheron just aren't getting the traction they deserve. When people want to spend 50 grand in the grey market, they aren't thinking Vacheron, I don't think.
No, that's true. I think the truth is, all watches at the moment above a certain level are still selling. The stuff that we've turned over recently, we've sold quite a few platinums,
Yeah.
rose GMTs.
Yeah.
We've only just got this into stock, but we've had loads of inquiries on it so far. Same with this, loads of inquiries. This has been a bit quieter.
See, this is what I don't get about Patek, especially models like this. If you were to buy them at list, you're taking a heavy loss if you were going to transfer
Yeah, I
them
think
straight away.
36, 38.
But
Yeah.
for people who aren't on that wait list, who want that watch, you're getting a very cheap watch.
Yeah.
You're getting it under list
Yeah.
without the weight. So why isn't that moving?
The AP Skelly we haven't had long, 39mm, that's really grown on me. That is an amazing watch. I think
It's working its way. Since I've seen it and I've had it on my wrist, it's working its way up in my top 5. It's not there yet, but it's getting there.
this won't last long. We've had a good solid inquiry on that. Had someone try and buy it yesterday.
Yeah, I think the Yacht-Master 42 white gold has hit its price point. We see it with a lot of watches where the market is very stale and all of a sudden they get to a certain point and people are happy to buy at that price point. The white gold 42, I believe, is there. The yellow gold has hit that price point as well. We've sold a couple in the last few weeks. But the rose gold, for whatever reason, has really come down and slowed down. But that's the nicest of all three, in my opinion.
You've got things like the TBR and the Tiffany & Co. Patek. I mean, they're a smaller market, obviously.
Yeah, niche market, you're catering to a much smaller crowd. And the type of people who buy those watches don't dither. They're ready to buy, and when they do make that decision, it's done.
There's few of them around, so if you're after a Tiffany Co. or an Arabic Platinum TBR, there's only going to be so many of them in the UK and around the world as well. I think it's a buyer's market, so you might see us advertise a watch, for example, like a Platinum TBR, at I think £310,000. There's definitely a deal to be had if you're coming to buy the watch. If that's...
This in the watch world right now is the dip, and it is the right time to buy. I think they've started to be seen as more of a commodity than a luxury item, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially to that kind of that
Well,
audience.
they're definitely not investables these days. You're buying them because you want to wear them, you want to enjoy it, you like that watch and you want to wear it and enjoy it. So,
And if it was purely for enjoyment, I still don't know why this doesn't get what it deserves, because it's such a nice watch.
isn't it? So
You get
clean.
so much for your money.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Out of all these watches, what do you reckon gives you the most bang for your buck
Oof, good question.
in the current market?
I'm quite partial to the Platinum Day-Date. I think that's probably, it's platinum, it's got diamonds, it's now at a super low price of, I think, 55 grand, 54 grand.
It was hitting 85,
wow.
90 at one point.
Yeah, it's platinum. I mean, I think for me, things like that are a lot more value for money than an Arabic TBR.
Yeah.
The Vacheron's probably pretty good value, obviously. Rose GMT is a great watch, sort of 30k or sub 30k. This particular piece is a 22, so it's just over 30k. But if you can pick that watch up, which you probably can on a 1920 for 30 or less, represents really good value for money.
A 5980 in the current market.
Yeah, amazing
You get
value.
a great
yeah.
deal on a 5980.
I mean, that's like an 85, 90 grand watch, or 85 grand, I think it is, not 90, for a Patek Nautilus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Blue Dial as well, so good value. I mean, this is just a small selection of the hundreds of watches that we've got in stock. Regardless of whether you're looking for 10, 15 grand watches or 300 grand watches, you're going to get value for money in whatever watch you buy, because it's worth what it's worth to you. And today, the market is absolutely significantly lower than what it was 2 years ago. Will we see it go back to, I get asked that all the time, will we see it go back to what it was? I think at some point one day we probably will.
I think the market needs stimulation at this point.
Yeah, but it needs that from the end of these wars for a start, and also obviously the world getting back after COVID in terms of interest rates and everything else. So I think the luxury goods market in general is hit pretty hard. I don't think it's dead by any means. I think people are saying, you know, I mean, I know it's not dead because we sell watches on a daily basis. There are some days we sell 6 or 7 watches and there are other days where we'll only sell 1 or 2, but ultimately watches are still moving absolutely every single day.
I definitely think it's a good point to mention. I personally think there's some manipulation from the watch houses there, trying to manipulate the grey market, especially Rolex, they're playing around.
I'm interested to hear what opinions of viewers of what they've got to say on the market and on how they perceive the current market to be. I mean, are you still a buyer in this current market, or are you actually more considering selling off your watches, or have you lost interest in watches? Is your investment potential in watches gone? You know, are you sitting on a watch that is now at a loss? You know, again, these TBRs, they were 250 grand nearly at one point. It was mental what they were doing. You know, today you can pick that watch up of us for just shy of 120.
I think right now is a great time for watch collectors to assess their collections, just like we would if it's time to get out of a piece, and you can maybe move those funds into a different piece with more investment potential, maybe, with them being at the lowest probably they're going to be for a while. But for people who are actively buying watches, it's a great time to buy. There's no denying that.
And also we're getting a lot of clients, especially at the moment, part exchanging watches. They're either chucking in 3 or 4 watches for that bigger piece, but ultimately part exchange is a big thing. It's a key part of our business. It's a big part of our business. That's also why we like to vary our stock, and we do that through part exchange. At the moment, what other brands are performing as well, if not better than Rolex? What do you think is a better investment?
So I'd say in the last 4 to 6 weeks, I've seen a lot of interest in Patek Aquanauts especially. They're definitely being more sought after. AP are making moves at the minute, interest in APs. After that, it's hard to tell really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, RMs, you're never going to sell a lot of RMs because they're much higher value in the marketplace. I think you're right. I think Pateks are always going to be popular, but in particular recently, Aquanauts have been crazy. So yeah, those watches aren't sticking around. And as for Nautiluses, we've done a few different ones, variety of different Nautiluses, but right now, again, I'm interested to see how this performs. This is
stunning.
Yeah, new in as well. I feel like it's a better size than the 5524, and I prefer it without the chronographs because I feel like it's a bit cleaner. And we'll see. I think that it's a 5205R in black. It's a 2020.
I've also just sold it as well, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's how well it's doing. So I didn't even know that. So that's great news. So
I think we have got another one coming in this week as well.
That would be good. But yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So that's great news. You know, that hasn't lasted long. I think we only had that about 4 or 5 days. I like to try watches that we haven't had before. That is nice. We had a 5172G in about, I don't know, a month or so ago. And it took a few weeks to sell. It did sell relatively quickly in the grand scheme of things. And someone's just ordered another one. So again, it's good. It shows you that the certain watches that you don't normally traditionally stock every day sell and move. The stuff you'd avoid is the stuff like Breitlings and Panerais and all that stuff. Although having said that, there's the odd exception. There's an odd exceptional piece. But there's also Omegas. Like some of them, they just don't see. Even the Snoopy's died. You know, like once upon a time, I think that was like 17, 18 grand piece. We sold a new one the other day for like 12.7. You know, it's crazy how that's really dropped off. And that's probably what makes people think that the watch market's dead. I hate that term, watch market's dead. Obviously, because I can totally counter-argue that in the fact that we sell watches every single day. I mean, again, I was in Dubai last week. That is booming. That place is on fire when it comes to watches. I think also so is Asia. I think, you know, probably no doubt the US is. I'm sure we've got viewers from these locations, and I'm sure hopefully that they could jump into the comments and tell us what they think about the watch market.
Okay, so here's a question to the viewers. Of this selection in front of you now, if you could pick one of them for yourself, put a comment down below, let us know what you would choose. And likewise, what would your investment choices be right now? If you had to pick one of these as an investment piece, what watch do you see giving you the best return for your money?
I've got a better question. If you didn't care about money and you didn't give a shit if it lost money, pick a watch. So if it's not about money, if you don't care how much money you're going to blow and how much you're going to lose, pick a watch. Because I think for me, I don't think I'd probably just go with one of the big baddie RMs. I mean, because you could buy that watch. You know, a lot of people used to say, I'm going back 10 years ago, people used to say to me, and this is when you could get, not this particular RM, but when you could get RMs for like 50 grand, people used to go, no, they'll be worth nothing next year. And that always put a lot of people off. And I think as the market stimulated and as it grew and as obviously time goes on, and RM is still there and still strong, I think when the market's dropping, the last thing you want to do is be owning a 300 grand watch or 350 grand watch. So if money was no object and I didn't give a shit, I'd probably just jump in and get an RM and just be like, yeah, why not?
I think I'm with you there.
Yeah. AP hadn't had a 50th anniversary and hadn't have released some great new pieces and hadn't have kept their market share, I feel like AP would have gone. I don't know. I mean, personally, me, I'm a little bit bored of what Rolex produce. I'd sort of say that I don't love them and I'm not excited by the Rolex watches. And I'm not saying that you don't see some nice, rare Rolex pieces. But the truth is, Rolex, even this year, like their releases were just same. Nothing to say, oh, wow, I want to get hold of that.
Okay, so there you go. There's £2 million worth of watches, give or take a couple of quid. Thanks for watching. This is a small selection of the stock here at GMG. We've got plenty of other things to show you in coming weeks. So let us know what you think in the comments about the selection in front of you, your investment ideas, your favourites, your least favourites. It's always great to read what you guys want to say. Thanks very much. Remember to like, share,
comment and subscribe.
Do all that business that Ciaran usually tells you to do. We'll see you next week.